Welcome to all in the today's session of value added certificate course which is been organized by the Department of Chemistry, Pandit NRS Government College Rohtak under the aegis of Department of Higher Education Haryana under the guideship of our worthy principal Major Dinesh Saharan. It's get me a immense pleasure to welcome our today's resource person Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity, who is the assistant professor in the Department of Chemistry, presently in the St. Stephen's College, University of Delhi, Delhi. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has a very long research experience as a research associate at the University of Delhi, along with in the Department of Chemistry, Stockholm University, Sweden, along with Department of Biosciences and Nutrition, Novum, Sweden. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has a very nice experience as a postdoc fellow in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry, Free University of Berlin, Germany. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity also holds the position of a research scientist in the Chiral Catalytic Department, API R&D Center, Jubilant Organsis Limited, Noida, Delhi. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has a very nice educational qualification from the very beginning. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity hold many academic positions like postdoc fellow, visiting research fellow, senior research fellow, junior research fellows, different projects. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has a very nice teaching experience in both UG and the PG classes through organic chemistry, biochemistry field, polymer chemistry field, heterocyclic chemistry field, pharmaceutical chemistry field, cosmetic chemistry field, environmental sciences, the chemistry of life sciences. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has an experience for guiding, for supervising the MTech students. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has a very nice experience in the research. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has a very long list of publications, more than 50 research publications in the different national journals, international journals of repute, including in the conference proceeding. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has also their experience to patent their research work, along with write many chapters in the different books. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has delivered many oral presentation in the different national and international conferences. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has a very good experience in attending the different conference, symposium, conferences, seminars at a national and the international level in within our country and abroad also. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has a very good experience in attending the different FDPs. Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has a membership of different professional societies like European Peptide Society, International Society of Nucleotides and Nucleic Acid, Oligonucleotide Therapeutic Society, and also in the Royal Society of the Chemistry. So the list is not so much, the list is very long. So in a very brief, we can say that the Dr. Jyitirmoy Maity has a very nice experience in the different field in teaching, in research, in attending the different seminar, conference, symposium, workshops at the national and the international level within the country and the abroad. So I also feel proud to extend my hearty welcome to you, sir, on behalf of all the participants from the Directorate of Department of Higher Education, Haryana, from our college fraternity, from our Department of Chemistry, from our principal, Major Dinesh Saharan. The theme of the course is such that every branch directly or indirectly related to our basic theme. I would like to mention that our theme is also one of the highest priority of Government of India and remain one of the key challenges to the whole society. I am sure that the inputs and the guidance given by you in this session will go along in enriching our efforts for making meaningful change and the challenges in the life of peoples. Thank you so much, sir, and welcome again for to be a part of this session by accepting our invitation on a very short talk or on a short call. Now I request Dr. Jyotirmoy Maity, which is now doing their work, doing their duty, doing their job in a very efficient manner in the Department of Chemistry, St. Stephen's College, University of Delhi. Please enlighten us with your precious experience and knowledge. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ravinder Singh. Thank you so much for your nice and kind introduction. I am really grateful to you, and I would also like to thank the organizing committee of DGHE sponsored value added certificate course on chemistry in daily day to day life for inviting me for this lecture. Thank you very much. And today I'm going to talk about the introduction to cosmetic chemistry. So I would be discussing something about the cosmetic chemistry, and this cosmetic industry, it has grown a huge these days, right? And not only about the industrial aspect of the cosmetic chemistry, at the same time we can see that from the viewpoint of a chemist, what are the things, what are the aspect of chemistry, and how the chemists can make a growth in this industry, or how the cosmetic industry could get benefit of our chemistry knowledge. So those things are will be discussed in this introduction portion. Okay, so let me go to the slides. So these are the few aspects of cosmetic chemistry we are going to discuss. Like, we will have a brief history of cosmetic chemistry or the industry, how this field went up, and how this everything went to its came to its current situation. And then we'll talk about the classification of the cosmetic material, like depending on the use, application, and etc etc. We'll see the formulation of the cosmetic materials also, and we know that like all the cosmetic materials are not of same formulation. Like, some are paste, some are solutions, some are very solid thing, like a soap, right? So we'll see those things. We'll see the structure of the cosmetic industry, like how this industry is functioning. And like, once we have a detailed knowledge about that, we will be able to find out that what are the scopes we are having, and our input, our knowledge in this industry for its development. So another aspect would be quality assurance and quality control, like the raw material that is coming into the industry for producing some kind of cosmetic material. That thing should be controlled, and the finished product, how when it is going outside the industry for the market or for the society, how good it is, or what is its quality, that should be controlled. We'll discuss related to that. And research and development, that thing, like how this research and development thing, or the different scientists or scientists from different field, how they can improve this institute or industry, that we'll be discussing. There are so many, like when we are talking about the raw material, finished product, so there are so many things which are like from the viewpoint of a chemist, that like those chemicals which would be utilized for the production of some kind of cosmetic material. So polymers, pigments, emulsions, surfactants, so these are different uh, ingredients what we are having for the production of some product. So that is one aspect, and of course we will be brief in that. And then we have we'll see that how the researchers or scientists from different field, they can improve this industry, and also they can get their place in the industry, in the cosmetic industry. So first I would start with the definition, like what we mean by the cosmetic. And here you can see the definition that cosmetic is defined as the substance which comes in contact with various parts of human body like skin, hair, nail, lips, teeth, and mucous membrane, etc. And a preparation applied to the body, especially to the face, to improve its appearance. Okay, and this is some kind of definition which is textbook definition. When we go in the different countries context, like how they define the cosmetic materials, so that could be quite different. And like there is these few definitions are from different parts of the world, like in US, the Food and Drug Administration, how they define the cosmetic material, that you can see here. How the cosmetic materials are defined in European Union, that you can see here. And how the Canada Health Department, they see the cosmetic material, that you can see here. And of course, like in like I am giving you the example of only these three different definition, but depending on how the cosmetic is defined in China or in Japan or in Australia, the definition could vary. Okay, so let's talk about a brief history of cosmetic chemistry. And like here you can see like the application of this kind of cosmetic material, it is from a very long ago. And we can see that in Egyptian civilization, Sumerian civilization, Indus Valley civilization, like all these ancient civilizations, they were using some sort of color, some sort of cosmetic, uh, some sort of material which would enhance their appearance. Like the kings or queens or the highly rich people, they used to apply this kind of cosmetic material for enhancing their appearance, right? And in ancient Greek we can see that, in ancient China and Japan we can see that. And like in the 16th century we can find that in the documented history that the people of upper class, people of Europe, in like when they are having some kind of appearance in the public gathering, so the upper class people, they used to have some kind of cosmetic material to decorate their face. And also the people who were having some kind of stage appearance, they also used to use this kind of cosmetic material. In 18th century we can see that the like the use of this cosmetic material is having some kind of negative effect on the skin and on the eyes or on the body. So possibly the chemistry knowledge was not very developed at that time. And in 1886 we can see the California Perfume Company that was established. In 1894 Personal Care Products Council was established in US. And in 1900 time, like in that time period, the cosmetic became widespread around the world, like these things got popularized. In 1907 L'Oreal company was established in Paris. And in 1914 the like that was the time of the First World War. And like the women, they start taking up jobs in different industry, different companies. And so like they started moving out of their houses and for their enhanced appearance and impressive kind of appearance, so these things becomes very popular. And most of the women in US, they started using this. In the decade 1990, 1920, 1930, it was the time when the nail polish, powder blush, power compact, lip gloss, these kind of cosmetic material, they came into the market. In 1934, Procter and Gamble introduced first detergent-based shampoo. In 1936, L'Oreal invented the first sunscreen. In 1949, the company Procter and Gamble, they started sponsoring the daytime television programs. And like nowadays, even the television program, the serials, they are called as soap operas because of that. Because in that time, this company Procter and Gamble, they started sponsoring those shows. In 1952, like the first deodorant that came into the market. And 55 Procter and Gamble introduced the first toothpaste. In 1960s, that was the time when the natural product based things become popular, and it was introduced for the first time in that decade. And first aerosol based deodorant was introduced by Gillette in 1965. 1980 was the time when people started craving for the brighter look or like more enhanced colors. So those colors become very popular. In 1981, that was the time when like the animal taste ban thing that came into the picture, and like people like for earlier the cosmetic for the cosmetic material, the like the animals were used for their test, like animal testing, and that thing become banned, or like that thing was like considered that we need to find out some alternative to animal testing. And this PCPC, Personal Care Products Council, they donated a huge amount of money for that purpose. In 1990, the animal testing, that was the hot topic, and consumer was given the preference whether they want to use the cosmetics material which are having a like which are tested with some animal, or which are not tested with the animal. And by 2000, we can see that due to globalization and like due to competition among the different companies, variety of products that flooded the market. And one interesting part here, that European Union, they implemented the animal testing ban by the year 2004. So let's find out some very common misconception about this cosmetic industry. Like sometimes we say that there is a brand of some cosmetic material, and sometimes we say that there is a company. So let's clear that thing. Like company is an organization; it is a business model who are like producing different cosmetic material. And brand, it is a name of some kind of product, right? So so these two things are different. Like the company, it is the business model, business organization who is producing different kind of cosmetic material, and the brand is some cosmetic material which are having a specific name. And like people started relying on those things, that these if it is a from this brand, it would be definitely a good cosmetic material. So that is the brand and company related. And in Indian context, we can see that the market is ever growing. Like this is a data from TechSci Research, and you can see that from starting from 2014 to 2024, like till we have the like the till coming year, the market is always growing, fine. And few companies which are playing a major role in Indian market, they are Hindustan United Unilever Limited, the Himalayan Drug Company, Emami Limited, Johnson and Johnson, Oriflame India Private Limited, Nivea India Private Limited, Amway India Enterprises Private Limited, Procter and Gamble Home Products Private Limited, Lotus Herbal Limited, etc. Like this is a very small list comparing the number of companies who are playing a role in the Indian market. And the cosmetic market is ever growing. And in 2016, it was approximately $8 billion market. And in Indian context, like we can see the Ayurvedic medicine, or sorry, Ayurvedic beauty products, or the natural beauty products, they are having a special demand in the market. When we are talking about the cosmetic material, I would just like to introduce one more term here, which is called as cosmeceuticals, right? Like it is a fusion between the cosmetic and pharmaceutical. So the the things which are, in one hand they could be considered as the cosmetic material, and in the other hand they could be considered as a pharmaceutical thing, right? So that means like the things which are having some sort of like the cosmetic materials which are having some sort of uh, like biological effect, or like antifungal effect, or antibacterial effect, they would be considered as the cosmeceuticals, right? Because we have seen from the definition that we can distinguish what are the cosmetic, what are the pharmaceutical, but like these are some things in the market which is really difficult to categorize whether they are cosmetic or the pharmaceutical, right? So that is why FD and C, like this Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, they define that there are some things which are considered as the cosmeceuticals. Depending on their use, we can classify the cosmetic material whether they are used on skin or on the nails, or whether it is used for mouth and teeth, or whether it is used for eyes, or whether it is used for hair. Right? I'm sure we know, we can, like, if we just look around, we can find so many different cosmetic materials which are coming in all these categories. Also, like, we can categorize them depending on their function, like if they are having any therapeutic function, or they are having any protective function, or corrective function, or decorative function. Like these things are categorized in this way. And according to the physical nature of the cosmetic material, we can categorize them in aerosols, cakes, emulsions, oils, pastes, powder, solution, soap, and stick. Fine. And like, there could be some more things, but those things we'll be discussing in the coming slide. So here we can see the cosmetic formulation, or the physical forms of the finished product, and we can see, like, there are so many different formulation we can produce for any cosmetic material. And here is the solution or liquid, cream, it can be lotion, it can be a suspension in a liquid, it can be an ointment, it can be capsules or tablets, it can be powder, gels, sticks, aerosols, balms, muds, scrubs, and so on. Right? So these are the finished cosmetic material which could be applied. And if we just want to categorize that to what are the different forms of cosmetic material that is possible, like what are the different formulation of cosmetic material possible, so this is the list. Okay. And let's talk about something about the industry, or the cosmetic industrial structure, like how it works. So we can see that this industry would start from the supplier, right? The supplier would be taking up raw material from different sources. He will bring it in his place, he will store it, and he will make the packaging of those raw material, and then he will send it to the testing house to check whether this raw material is good enough or not. And here comes the QA/QC factor, like we can check the raw material quality of the raw material, and we need to perform tests that whether the raw material is safe for utilizing in the cosmetic formulation. So once these materials they reach the manufacturer will do it by themselves, like the company will do it, or they will hire some contractual manufacturer who will produce the final product, the final cosmetic material which is to be sold in the market. Okay. And here the company has some process, and the first thing they would have to design a formulation, then they would have to carry out the mixing process, or carry out the heating process, or like grinding process, whatever it is. Like for the production of the cosmetic material, they need to follow a procedure. Fine. Where the raw materials or the ingredients would be mixed, would be boiled, would be solubilized. Fine. So these things would be done, and after getting the final product, it should be filled in packets or in bottles, depending on what kind of formulation is done. And then these bottles or the packets, they will be packed and they will be labeled, and a trademark should be put by the company that which will certify that okay, this company has produced this cosmetic material. Right. Next, the things will go to the distributor. He will or she will send these materials. The distributor will send these materials to the market, and in the market, it will be chosen by the consumers, and the consumer would be telling you that how good this thing or how good bad that thing, or like depending on their taste, they will be choosing this cosmetic material. So this is one thing you can see, like here we are talking about the industry which is a linear economy, right? Like there is a supplier, the thing is starting from there, and like it is reaching to the consumer and it's done. But the challenge at this moment, like in the cosmetic industry, is that like how to make it a circular economy, right? Where we will be reusing the packets or reuse the different materials which are related to this cosmetic industry, and we will be able to formulate the kind of cosmetic material which would be biodegradable. So that is the one challenge in this industry right now, that how to make it a circular economy, right? If we can introduce this recycle or reusable factor in this industry, then it will be a circular economy. So that is one challenge at this moment. So let's find out what are the different tests done on the cosmetic chemistry. So the first one is the QA/QC, quality assurance and quality control. And this thing would be checked in two different points, like for the incoming raw materials and also for the outgoing finished products. So these are the 2 points where we need to check QA/QC. Fine. And how do we check this? The standard test, like the first thing is the visual inspection. We can see whether it is in the perfect condition or not, or whether something is happening there. Its odor, whether odor is good or not. We can check the pH, we can check the viscosity, and we can like report that what is the situation, or whether it is meeting the standard of those material. About stability testing, we can see that like here we are trying to determine that how long the product would be in good condition. And you can see in every cosmetic material package there is a expiry date. So that is the thing what is determined here, like how long it will be stable, because as soon as you open the bottle, open the box, it gets contaminated with like different fungal spores, bacterial spores which are floating in the air. So that is why we need to find out whether how long that would be stable after you open it up. Okay, so there are different way to determine that, and the sample is stored at 4 degree, 15 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree and 50 degree, just to check whether how long they would be stable. And we check it with against sunlight and UV light. And in this industry, like one standard parameter that is followed, that if a substance, if a cosmetic finished product, cosmetic material is staying fine for 8 weeks at 45 degrees centigrade, so its stability would be around 1 year, right? So that is some kind of standard thing which is followed. So next thing we can see about the safety test and cosmetic ingredient review. They have a set of rules, and they like it is available in their website, that what are the things that should be maintained, right? And external system testing is the chemical irritant testing, patch testing, eye irritant testing, sensitizer testing, photosensitivity testing. Those are like the external system test. And internal system testing is about the oral and inhalation and irritation studies. So these are the internal. And then one thing is when the cosmetic product is in the market, then we see the performance testing, like how whether the cosmetic material is liked by the mass or not, whether it is getting popular or not, whether it is becoming famous as a brand or not. So those things are about the performance testing. I would just like to talk something about the chemicals in cosmetic industry, because like whatever we see in this industry as the raw material, they must be some sort of chemical. So one like few things I would just like to discuss here. So one is the surfactants, like these are some kind of molecules which are having a charged head, or along with a long tail. So like with the charge could be like the charged head, that could be non-ionic also, or cationic, or anionic, or zwitterionic. So ultimately we can see that here, like these molecules are represented like these surfactant molecules. Generally they are having the hydrophilic head and hydrophobic tail. And these molecules, under some certain condition, when their concentration is high, which is called as critical micelle concentration, beyond that concentration they will form a micelle, right? And it is a three-dimensional structure where the microenvironment would be different from the outer environment. Like inside, like when the suppose this micelle is getting formed, and outside environment is water, so the hydrophilic heads, they are outside, and inside all the hydrophobic tails are there. And so this is something which is in water, but inside the hydrophobic environment is there. So that is the micelle formation. And like the surfactants, they are having a huge application in this industry. Emulsifier, like these are the kind of molecules, or like the kind of surfactants which are specifically water soluble, and they are considered as, like specifically they are considered as water soluble surface active substances. And like they can like make both kind of micelles, like oil in water kind of emulsion, or water in oil kind of emulsion, right? So we are having the water amount higher, so we can see the oil in water kind of micelle formation. And if it is the oil is in a greater amount, so we can see the water in oil kind of micelle formation. And they are having their application in hand cream, for makeup, hair conditioner, shaving cream, sunscreen, etc. Fatty acid molecules are having a major role here, and they use in conditioning agents, and thickening agents, secondary emulsifier, opacifying agent, right? So opacifying agent, that is like those things which make the solution opaque. That is the opacifying agent. And silicons are there. This is another class of compound which is utilized for this purpose, for the cosmetic chemistry purpose. And mostly we can see their application in the conditioning agent. They are also used as opacifying agent. They are used as a shine agent, defoaming agent, like when we want to like reduce the amount of foam. Occlusive agent, that is occlusive barrier between the skin and the air, right? So slip agent, like that will introduce the slippery kind of nature in the cosmetic material. And these silicones, they are also used as hair detangling agent, right, to keep the hair straight and easy for combing. Then we have the polymeric material, which are like long chain kind of molecules. And polymers, there are several different variety of polymers which are used in cosmetic material. And like polymers, like the synthetic polymer, semi-synthetic polymer, or naturally occurring polymer, all different polymers, they are having their application and their uses in this material, in this formation of the cosmetic material. And they are used as thickening agent, as the formula stabilizer, conditioning agent, opacifying agent, as the preservatives, like which the kind of compounds or molecules which will keep the stable, keep the formulation stable for longer time. And then occlusive agent, styling agent, delivering agent, as delivering agent. So these are different application and function of the cosmetic material. So here we would just like to discuss that how the scientists, they can get different, they can get different role in the cosmetic industry, right? So let's start from here. Like as a formulator, they can generate newer idea, they can design new prototypes, they can scale up, like the amount of the cosmetic material that is getting produced. They can do product testing. They can create the claim. Create the claim means like when one cosmetic material is finalized, or like when you discover some new cosmetic material uh, or new cosmetic formulation, you need to file a patent so that your interest is safe, right? So creating claim is that like they would be able to write the patent so that no company would be able to steal that idea and to produce that same thing in their own, by their own, right? So QA/QC, this is about the quality control and quality assurance. So here also we can see that the chemists will be having a role there, like just to test the raw materials and to test the final products and to approve the batches, like whether they are having the in ideal condition or perfect condition or not. Microbiologists are also required because when we open the bottle of any cosmetic, open the box of any cosmetic, they get contaminated with different microorganisms which are floating in the air. So that is why we need the like the role of the microbiologist. So they will say that whether how much it is getting contaminated and how long it will stay in a good condition. So those things are there. Those things would be considered by the microbiologist. Analytical chemist, they would develop the different kind of test methods, and they would troubleshoot the batches if some kind of problem is going on, or the pH is not following in the right way. So that would be analyzed by the analytical chemist, and they will also assist for the claim support, like they would be saying that telling that exactly what is the ratio for the formulation, and for the claim support, like for the writing the patent, the analytical chemists, they will also be helping. And process engineering, like for here the chemical engineers, they would have their role, like scaling up of the cosmetic material. Like scaling up means when like first we carry out some pilot scale reaction and we produce some small amount of the cosmetic material, and as the demand grows, or we find that it is going to be a very good like very good impact in the market, so then we want to produce it in a larger volume. That is the scale up thing. And this chemical engineer, so they would help developing the system how we can easily produce a huge amount of the cosmetic material, and how all these mechanical things would be going smoothly, like if we are trying to fill in the bottles by some mechanical way, fine. And any troubleshoot related thing, the chemical engineers, they could help. The regulatory thing for of the regulatory thing of the cosmetic material, here we can see that review product claim is one major thing. Review of ingredients, and like to keep the company out of trouble, saying that like how their formulation is different from the formulation of by any other company, and they can create the dossiers. So that would be one role of the scientist in the cosmetic industry. Then there is basic research that would be done by the chemist or the scientist, and like different kind of research on the hair, skin, or different a different kind of formulation development, and like they would try to find out new breakthrough in the cosmetic industry. So those things are will come into the category of the basic research. And the synthetic chemists will also have some role here, like creating new raw material. Like one as an example, I just like to tell you that like sometimes you find vanilla, right? It's different in different cosmetic products. You can find the essence of vanilla, but if we try to extract the vanilla from its natural origin, like from the orchid, then it would be really difficult, and it would be very costly chemical, right? But when the chemists, they start synthesizing that vanilla in their lab, then the price just get reduced, and that becomes very affordable. So synthetic chemists can do that. And also the technical support would be there, like, so for running this industry, the technical team would be required, and they would find out the product application and help developing the claim, and they can also help for the sales. So these are the different kind of requirements in the cosmetic chemistry. So I would like to thank all of you for your very patience listening, and I would like to thank organizers once again for giving me an opportunity to introduce the cosmetic chemistry to all these students. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. I also thank the organizers.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving such a wonderful and nice lecture about the cosmetic industry. I want to thank you, sir, from my heart that you accept our invitation on a very short talk. And I want to thank from my whole of the college fraternity, from our Department of Chemistry, from the Department of Higher Education, to give such a wonderful lecture in front of our participants, our teachers, which are being connected here at both national and the international levels. So thank you so much, sir.